Welcome back to my channel. We are doing a March budget discussion review and everything that has to do with finances. If you like watching these kind of videos, just keep on watching. Alright, I feel like I haven't done that in a while. Well guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a March review. If you did not notice, I want to say for the month of March I did do I think 2 weeks worth of my budget. And then after that, nothing, right? Because now we are in the season of harvest season, which we're doing everything we can to grow everything I can to sustain me and my hubby and Bella. So right now, starting the month of March, obviously, we will be doing just monthly recaps of what we have done with our financial budget and debt and all that stuff. So I hope you don't get mad at me, but this is how it's going to be for the next couple of months until harvest season is over, because I need to focus on the harvest and not on the money. So that being said, let's see, what do we have? So for March, you guys, I don't know where I left off for March, but March is the end of my high peak of receiving extra cash, basically, because obviously tax season is almost over. So I think I have like 2 more, and that will be sometime in April, and I think that's it. Besides that, March was a very big income month because we had our taxes that came in, we had stocks that I sold that came in. So we had several things, plus the extra income from doing taxes and that kind of stuff that came in. So obviously we had a good month in March. So that being said, obviously starting in April, you'll see it go, go down back to normal reality life till next year. But at the end of March, I ended up with $59.72, though somewhere around here we were between $12,000 and $18,000. Well, that's because I had my stocks that I sold that came in. What else did we have? We had some taxes that came in, side hustles that came in, and then I end up with 59 because 7,900 of it we transferred to the sinking funds, which you'll see that next. And on top of that, we ended up paying debt off, right? So we paid the city, a certain amount. We paid off 2 payments on the Discover, and we paid off the American Express, and we paid up the Capital One, because don't forget, we went to Tennessee, and usually we'll use one of those for gas and all that stuff and then pay it off. So that's what we ended up doing. Let's see what else. So that's why towards the end we only have $59.72 at the end of March. The other thing we changed was, usually every beginning of the month we would have the $167 taken out for the Southern Connecticut gas. They are actually on a payment, I'm on a budget plan with them, and it's always $167. So what I'm doing differently this time around is, you're gonna see I paid it twice in March. So I paid it up here when it came out in the first week of March, and then I paid it down here, which came out in yesterday, the 30th. And the reason for that being is because I only have like 3 days by the due date. So the due date is always on the 4th, I think. So I'm cutting it kind of close there for, paying it right on time. So what I figured is I can pay it ahead of time for April, which now is paid ahead of time, And next month I can pay like a week before for the for technically for May, and it'll get there on time. Besides that, everything else was pretty normal. I didn't get anything else crazy. Obviously, we spent more money because we went to Tennessee, as you probably saw the video. So that's what we spent in Tennessee. And besides getting a bunch of moolah, we don't have anything else crazy going on. So $59.72 is what went into April. $59.72. And then after taking everything out, so you see here's Southern Connecticut gas again, but that will be towards the end of April to pay off actually for May. So I'm ahead of the game. So leaving $11.22, but don't forget 500 of that is actually for T-Mobile and everything that comes out that we don't know the amount for. So we will most likely be with like $600 left over, which is fine. We always leave ourselves a cushion. So as you probably saw the sticky note, so here is, we wrote everything down that we paid off, which is right here, and it was the American Express, the Capital One, the City, and the Discover. Now I can throw this away because we did pay it off. The other thing you'll notice in April is we changed over the Discover loan. So we have obviously the Discover loan that we paid $1,000 to. Well, we found another loan and we switched over. It's called Marcus. They're online. Pretty good company. We have a CD, savings, a couple of things with them. And every now and then they'll give us an option to transfer debt or whatever without no fees. So we didn't pay any fees to transfer it over, which is a good thing. And our payment went down. So instead of paying the $1,004, we're paying $610. But the good part is that if we do pay the $1,000 instead of the $600, we are able to pay off that debt sooner. So, and the fact that they didn't charge us any money to transfer or any of that stuff, plus they gave us an additional 5% discount off if we did an automatic withdraw from the account, which we did. That's why it says $610.96 here, because towards the end, anything extra we want to throw, we can throw it on it and pay it sooner. So the interest rate on this one was 7%. The Discover was 12%. So get my drift. We're saving a lot of money there. What else did we do? We paid off all the other credit cards. The other thing we did, so that's it for that. We didn't do anything else except to change the Southern Connecticut gas to it set up automatically every month. Every month, I want to say it was every month. We set it up for every month to come out 1 week before needs to be, before is due. So like this one I think is gonna come out sometime in the 29th. So April 29th will come out, so it'll get there on time to, you know, kind of a deal. But now I don't have to worry about that because it will always get there by the 1st of every month, but it comes out of my bank account at the end of the month, so it would count here. So that's why I doubled up on this one, just so I can catch up to that. I felt like one of these days it'll catch me up, and next thing you know I have a late fee, and then they won't give me my budget plan that I have with them. That's why I'd rather be safe than sorry. The other thing we did, no, that's it. We didn't do anything else for our main account. Sinking funds. Actually, the other thing we did has to do with the sinking fund. So I got tired of all this household stuff coming in and out because we love Amazon, and Amazon is our best friend, and we buy everything from Amazon. I mean, including food. So instead of it constantly coming in and out of our bank account here, what we ended up doing was, and the only reason why we did this is because we are actually in control of our credit cards, right? We went from 20 credit cards to like 2 or 3, and every time we use it now, we pay it. So we are in control. Now, if you're not in control, I don't suggest you do this, because obviously it can get out of hand if you don't manage your money, if you don't pay attention to your buckets, and if you don't have discussions with your husband. So it can get out of hand. So what we ended up doing, we sat down, we talked about it. I got tired of Amazon not finding an item, giving me a credit, putting it back, taking it back out, blah, 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 blah. So, and you guys saw from previous videos that was very annoying to me. So we decided to put the American Express on our Amazon account, so it can just do everything through there, and then all we do is one payment through the sinking fund if it has to do with our sinking funds, or one payment with, you know, obviously our American Express is a link to all of our accounts, so we can pay whichever account we want to pay it with that has to do with the bucket, whether it's personal, whether it's groceries, whether it's the sinking fund. We can still keep track of it. Of course, it's something that you have to manage daily, which we do. Every time a transaction goes through, American Express does send me a text message saying something went through. So at least I know if it was me or my husband, or if it was stolen, and then we can report it, right? So we don't have to worry about that aspect of it. Now, if it's something small and it has nothing to do with Amazon, obviously we still do the regular account here. Like I just brought more Baker Creek seeds, don't ask me why, but I went in and I used the account because I didn't use the American Express. It's mainly more for the Amazon in and out kind of deal, because the stuff comes in, we test it out. If we don't like it, we just go back and redo it, so, and return it, so we get a credit. So that kind of stuff is what the reason why we're doing that. As you saw in here probably already, now that I explained my life, we brought in the $7,900, but we only transferred $7,000 to the savings. We kept $900 to fund some of the envelopes. They didn't need it except for home, obviously, but just to have a safe haven, right? Like something, so I don't have to freak out every now and then if my money is low, basically. And it's sort of like a cushion that we're giving ourselves in each bucket. So we did go in and we did fund something, not what they get on the top, but we did do something. So like, I don't know, like medical, usually we fund $200. Well, I just added $25 to medical. I gave it $25. Clothing, I think I funded the whole envelope. The envelope ended up being negative $536 by the time we were done. So we funded that one $600. Just to make it positive. Clothing, I gave it $75 because Bella's been wanting a little bit of clothes here and there, so that's fine. I just fund $75 to give it a little boost. Then boost Christmas, that one stayed the same. I gave $25 to car, even though there was $700 in there. I didn't need the $25 boost, but we decided $25 on the car, $50 for memberships, $75 for taxes, and $50 for Nina. Now, me and my husband sat down and decided what to give what. And he always says no to Christmas, so he thinks no one should get Christmas gifts. That's how he is. But if it wasn't for me doing this physically, no one would get a Christmas gift. But on top of that, then it got funded. It's regular funding, right? Because at the end of the month, we got our $650. So I did fund the regular funding on it. Everything seems pretty good, pretty normal by now. This one won't get withdrawal until like June or July. We pay off all of our taxes for the whole entire year for the vehicles and all that stuff. So that will come out soon. Car usually is a little bit lower, but they screwed up on my maintenance, so they gave me a free, they wiped out my bill and fixed my car, so that's why I didn't have to pay anything for the alignment or anything that had to do with the car. Bella obviously is getting bigger, so she wanted a couple of things from Target, I think it was. Yeah, Target. So that was fine. Home, right now there's $200, but I want to say we owe Amex. So this whole entire row will probably go to the Amex payment before the due date, so they don't hit me with obviously interest. And I want to say close because we went to Target. Let's see, medical $159, it's in there now, and then $46 and other. So our ending balance of obviously March for our sinking funds was $30.23.86. We didn't change anything except to give it a little boost on each bucket. As you can see, we keep up with our buckets because, you know, every time I go somewhere, I do go in here. Before I went to Target, I went in and saw that, you know, we only had $94, so Bella was on a limit for right now. Our personal, so the end of March, I had $466.99. I have $312 in groceries, $93 for gas, $43 for toiletries, $18 for other. So I want to say, for April, I might sacrifice my personal and pay off some debt, and use up what I have in the freezer, refrigerator, canning, everything that's available, just to make sure we do a clean out of things, right? Because things get under the freezer you don't remember you have there. So we will be probably sacrificing for April. I'm not sure if I am going to do that completely because I do have to do an inventory of things. So maybe this weekend I'll do an inventory on what I have in stock and decide whether I want to do it in April or in May. So obviously we went on $30.23.86 is what we have for our sinking funds. Each bucket has a positive amount. Thank you, Lord. God is always good. Somebody's texting me. So starting in April, we're positive, not negative. And also for the personal account, $466.99. Now, so just to recap, April, we're gonna probably sacrifice our personal accounts. Don't forget, we do get funded, what is it, 2 more times within the month of April. So it's not like I'll be starving to death. If we do need to do maybe a half instead of a whole, then obviously either way we're good. Obviously now you won't see a lot of stuff come out from the home bucket, but I want to say April. Yeah, we don't have nothing coming up in April that's major. I think the cars are fine. I think Nina is in May for her well visit. So it's not April. You will only see probably just a payment come up from American Express because we have to take the buckets of where we had and pay off the credit card before the, I believe, the 15th. Our due date is on the 15th of April. So as long as we pay everything out before the due date, and we're not talking about like the day before. I like to pay it off as soon as I know. But that's the only thing you're going to see in April instead of seeing all those Amazon charges. Now, unless I know it has to do with groceries, we put also our personal credit card. Well, I put the personal credit card in Amazon if I'm ordering food items. So if I ordered food items, then yes, I'll go in and use my card versus the American Express. It's mainly for the people sinking funds that I'm not liking the in and out if they don't know how to pick it. And then for April, obviously in our main account, don't forget that we will now pay Southern Connecticut Gas towards the end of the month, not towards the beginning of the month. Marcus is there instead of, well, you're going to see the big lump sum come in of like $20,000 to pay off Discover, and then obviously the payment for Marcus to come out. So the big chunk of change is going to come in one of these days, because we just did it the other night, so it takes a couple of days. So we'll get $20,000 from Marcus to pay off Discover, and then we're gonna pay off, I think, a little bit of Discover, because we forget that they accumulate interest every day based on your payout. It's like a car, you got to ask for a payout. So what we're gonna do is, obviously we got to pay probably $100 out of pocket, because we forgot about that. So I want to say you'll see the big lump come in, pay off Discover, and then the payment for Marcus pop out at the end of the month. So what else do we have? I think that's it. We don't have anything else that's coming up. And that's it for the main account. So next month in May, you won't see Discover anymore. You'll see just Marcus. And I want to say that's it. We didn't do anything else in March. Anything else that was crazy besides all the money going in. All this money, extra money, will start going down, which we already planned for. We always plan ahead of time. That's why we put the lump sum in the saving instead of doing anything crazy. And this is the time to just save, because we did finalize everything at the house. God willing, let it be Lord's blessing that it does finally go through, because anything can happen where they can pull out and not want to do anything. So far, so good. And we want to save as much as we can, so if it falls through, we have enough money to just go and do something ourselves, or have somebody else do it from scratch, or go over there with like mad money in hand, talk about people, we're not joking around, we need a house on this property, that kind of deal. So we're giving it to God, letting it be, and whichever way it falls, we have a plan. So I'm not too worried about it. So that's it for March. I hope you guys don't get mad at me, because I'm not going to be doing this every week, but at least I still give you the recaps. So that's it for now. Love ya, bless ya. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. God bless. I will see you guys in April. Bye.